Hello, dear listener. I wanted to record a brief note about the format of this podcast. And as of this recording, I am moving Beyond Success back to an audio-only format. Over the past few months, I experimented with making this into a video podcast with the video versions uploaded to YouTube. And usually I put 3 to 5 hours into drafting a script for each episode. And lately, I've been using AI for editing with the primary instruction to AI to follow the classic Strunk and White elements of style dictum to omit needless words. Okay, omit needless words. The AI followed that to a T. In fact, I've discovered it omitted too many needless words. In making the videos, I also wanted to look into the camera. So that meant using a teleprompter to read the script. The problem is that this podcast has never really been about polished delivery. It's been about thinking and editing in real time. The preliminary script that I come up with before I hit record is never the final statement of the ideas because I continue to edit on the fly during the recording. I ad-lib, I improvise like in jazz. Sometimes I compose whole new sections that occur to me as I speak. And I explore these ideas as they're forming, letting the arguments evolve or sometimes doubling back or changing shape mid-sentence. So with the teleprompter, if I change my mind mid-sentence or go into another thought or expand on something in the middle of the script, the teleprompter will keep rolling. And this makes it difficult to ignore what I'm seeing in front of my eyes as it continues to roll into words that I'm not saying out loud, or to easily find where I left off in going back into the script to pick up where I left off. So this combination of scripts that have been edited to omit needless words and a teleprompter ended up removing a lot of the freedom that I had before in recording this podcast. And with the teleprompter, I also couldn't choose on the spot how much to pause between paragraphs or sentences or even words, or to even let me repeat a sentence if I wanted to, or to rephrase a sentence I just said when I, on the spot, think of a better way to say it, or when I only notice how clunky it sounds after reading it out loud. So yes, the episodes become more efficient. They get to the point quicker, they're shorter, but they also become more clipped and robotic or wooden. It also just wasn't as fun for me. So some listeners have noticed, have written in, I agree with you. So recording on audio gives me the space to think out loud again, to follow an idea where it actually wants to go rather than where a script that past me wrote thought it would end up. So this podcast is returning to the format it was originally built for. Hopefully this will be more spontaneous editing, more improvisation, more composition on the spot. And hopefully this means less constrained, less restriction, and more room for depth. If it still means that much to you to see my face as I record, just let me know. Maybe I could point a video at the side of my face while I look at my script as I record, and occasionally try to remember to look up. But I'd rather let my ideas and my voice do the talking instead of charming you with my pretty eyes. If you've been listening for a while and I took the time to share any feedback at all, especially on this matter, thank you very much. I read all the feedback and I value all of it a great deal. All right, let's get into the next episode.